Prime Minister Mark Carney has ordered a full review of Canada's multi-billion-dollar F-35 jet deal.
The United States has cautioned Canada against backing out of its purchase of American-made F-35 fighter jets, warning it of potential fallout if the deal is scrapped.
We found that estimated costs of the Future Fighter Capability project have significantly increased, and that the project faces several risks that could jeopardize the timely introduction of the new fleet.
Canada has just sent a thunderous shockwave across the global defense industry. After years of silence and behind-the-scenes debate, Ottawa has dropped a political bombshell. It's freezing and re-evaluating its multi-billion-dollar fighter jet deal with the United States. The $17 billion F-35 program that was supposed to redefine Canada's air power is now officially on pause. The original plan looked simple: replace Canada's aging CF-18 Hornets with 88 state-of-the-art F-35 Lightning II stealth fighters from Lockheed Martin, the same jets that dominate the skies for the U.S. Air Force and NATO allies. But in March 2025, everything changed. The Canadian government, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, announced a full-scale review of the F-35 deal, a move that stunned Washington. Ottawa said it wanted to take a hard look at the real cost, technology value, and economic impact for Canadians, not just the promises made on paper. And just when the U.S. thought the deal was sealed, a new player entered the arena: Sweden. Swedish defense giant Saab AB, the maker of the legendary JAS-39 Gripen E, presented a daring counteroffer, not only to sell jets, but to build and assemble them inside Canada in partnership with Canadian aerospace firms like Bombardier. This proposal would create hundreds of high-tech jobs and inject billions directly into the Canadian economy. And that's exactly the kind of deal Carney wants. One that puts Canadians first, not just foreign contractors. But as expected, Washington was furious. According to Aerotime, American defense officials warned Canada privately that any move to delay or drop the F-35 deal could have serious consequences for defense cooperation and intelligence sharing between the two allies. The U.S. wants Canada to remain within the F-35 ecosystem, the same aircraft network most NATO partners rely on. But not everyone in Canada agrees. Many defense analysts argue that the Gripen might actually be a smarter choice. It's cheaper to buy, easier to maintain, and already proven in Arctic-style conditions, exactly like Canada's northern territories. Unlike the F-35, which depends heavily on U.S.-controlled maintenance hubs, the Gripen gives Ottawa something Washington never could: independence. And that's what this entire story is really about: sovereignty, politics, and power. For decades, Canada's defense backbone has been built around American technology. But as trade tensions, tariffs, and political friction between the two countries grow, Ottawa seems ready to redraw the lines. This move doesn't mean Canada is instantly switching to Sweden, but it sends a message loud and clear: we'll choose what's best for Canadians, not what's convenient for Washington. If Canada actually goes forward with Saab's offer, it could become the first major NATO country to turn its back on the U.S.-led F-35 program, a move that would reshape alliances and defense markets for decades. Behind the scenes, U.S. officials are already lobbying aggressively, warning that billions in shared systems, data, and pilot training rely on the F-35 network. Experts say a final decision is expected by late 2025. But one thing is certain: the world is watching closely. Because this isn't just a defense deal, it's a turning point in global strategy, economic independence, and North America's balance of power. Whether Canada walks away from the F-35 completely or strikes a hybrid deal, one message echoes through the halls of Washington and Ottawa alike: the age of unquestioned U.S. dominance in Canadian defense is ending.